Hi, everybody. So today I'm going to talk about Ascension, and I'm going to try and describe it so that it's really understandable why we're here and what we're doing. So I'm going to create an outline of Ascension, and we're not just ascending the human consciousness, we're ascending the multiverse right now. So when you think about So this is kind of complicated, but when you think about parallel lives or past lives, time doesn't really exist. So the multiverse is you're in one lifetime right now, and we are traversing timelines, lifetimes, same thing, very quickly right now. Vibration wise, our vibration is rising, so we are up leveling constantly. But the parallel lives equal the multiverse. So just kind of think about that, absorb that for a bit. I'm going to talk about how we came to be, and then I'm going to talk about the universe that we have left behind, because it is in polarity, and polarity will not exist eventually. So we are coming out of polarity into unity. And I feel like there may be more than one show with this, but I want to give you an outline so you know how important you are in this process. And everybody that's watching this has a spark of God's source within them. Excuse me. So it's really important that we realize who we are, and we actually begin to act like who we are. We are beautiful beings, and the consciousness of the human being is changing massively at this point. The only part of us that is still catching up is the brain. Okay, so the brain, just like it doesn't see the majority of the light spectrum, and we'll talk about that, that's starting to change. We're at the cusp of change right now. We're about to see through the veil that the brain has created, because there used to be a veil and now there isn't, but the brain hasn't caught up to that fact yet. So really take care of yourself through this show and honor your body through this show. If it becomes too much, pause it, because it's a lot to comprehend. And I feel like, it's taken me years, and we're all changing. We're all changing constantly through this process, and it all has to do with frequency. But it's taken me a long time to come to this conclusion or this realization. So I want to share that with you guys so that you can, and some of you may know this already, it probably not the first time it's being said, but this is what comes to me, and I want to share it with you so that you can join me on this journey in an easier way, and also know how beautiful and important you are in this process. Okay, so let's get into it. And if you want more information about this, I am going to be constantly talking about it in some of the things that I do on my website, so you can go check that out. But let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here's the first picture. We're going to do pictures because this will make it easier. So I want you to imagine that this is God's source, okay? And all these little stars our souls. Okay, so you're one of these little stars. And they were birthed from God source so that God could experience and expand. That's the whole point. Learning is the whole point. Expansion of consciousness. It's very important. So you are one of these little stars up here. Just imagine that. So what has happened is we've been in polarity for a really long time. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and pause this. Okay, so this is the yin and yang. And that illustrates polarity. So we've been in a good and bad, good versus bad, different energies in opposites to each other. Now with the yin and yang, you still have a little bit of darkness in the light and a little bit of light in the darkness. So if they mix, that could create gray, right? Different shades of gray. Now, we're moving into more of this right now, which is color. We're moving into color. And the new color of this new frequency that we're in the universe is an aqua color. It's aqua, and the Akashic records, or the knowledge of this universe, is basically lavender, which is a light purple color. So the universe, everything is formed in spirals. So this is more of an example of how the new universe is going to be frequency-wise. But we're not just expanding this universe, we're expanding all of them. So the multiverse is changing right now. I actually like this picture better. So think about these strings. Everything is in unity. So we are unified here in the middle. But these strings would represent a piece of the multiverse. So multiverse can be described as perspective as well. So the neighbor down the street, if he sees a car accident and you are outside and you see the same car accident on the street, you will have a different point of view. So you will see a different part of that car when it gets into that accident. So the unity I would like to show you is this. So all the colors are becoming unified, all the frequencies. And a rainbow really illustrates that beautifully. So that's really important to remember. And everything is in spirals, toroidal fields, which are basically a spiral as well. Everything is built like that. The math that creates the universe is really, truly beautiful. And everything now is going to be heart-based. So we're going through this ascension and it's heart-based. So what are we going to get out of this ascension? Like, what is really happening for us? So what's happening for us is that we're moving into a faster vibration. So we're going to be able to see more, and we're going to be able to experience more. And the reason we're doing it in the human body is because the human consciousness was what you would call the lowest hanging fruit. It was the most abused. And it's time for that beautiful consciousness to graduate and to be complete, because it was complete when it was created, and then it was distorted. So the strands of DNA were deactivated, and we only had 2 to work with. So those 2 strands of DNA, that helix was based on survival. So what are we going to be doing in the future? I want to show you a clip of a movie that kind of illustrates the vibration, and it's really good. So we're going to... Okay, so this movie is called Lucy, and we're going to watch this and think about what she's really meaning here. And I would definitely watch the whole movie. So here it comes.
Cells group together, forming a giant web of communication, which in turn forms matter. Cells get together, take on one form, deform, reform. Makes no difference, it's all the same. Humans consider themselves unique, so they've rooted their whole theory of existence on their uniqueness. One is their unit of measure, but it's not. All social systems we put into place are a mere sketch. 1 + 1 = 2, that's all we've learned. But 1 + 1 has never equaled 2. There are in fact no numbers and no letters. We've codified our existence to bring it down to human size, to make it comprehensible. We've created a scale so that we can forget its unfathomable scale.
But if humans are not the unit of measure, and the world isn't governed by mathematical laws, what governs all that?
Film a car speeding down a road. Speed up the image infinitely, and the car disappears. So what proof do we have of its existence? Time.
Okay. So what proof do we have of its existence? So the ETs are vibrating at a faster rate than we are vibrating. Vibration is the determination of matter. So if matter is moving slower, then it would be in first, second, third density. Third density, when we are completely done with Ascension, will no longer exist. Fourth density will no longer exist either, because it's the bridge between the third and the fifth density. So fourth density is kind of like chaos. It's chaos on one side of the bridge, and it's beautiful on the other side of the bridge. And then you step into fifth density. So it's a big concept. But that's where we're going. We're going into fifth density. And my mind would not allow me to see that at the beginning of this process. And we are changing and growing all the time, because our vibration is speeding up. I'm going to show you another example of that. Okay, so this is the Schumann resonance, and this happened in mid-June. And what was this? The Schumann resonance has been speeding up for years. So what does that mean? That means the vibration, because the Schumann resonance is Earth's heartbeat. And they used to use it for military like measurement. So they would use it in their tactical exercises because it was so reliable. Well, it's not reliable anymore. So it's either going very fast or it's going kind of more at a normal speed. So time is speeding up. We are speeding up. We are vibrating faster, just like the car. So there may be people that don't see you in the grocery store, and that's because you're vibrating too fast for them to notice you. And we're in that point right now where some of us are speeding up so quickly, and we're in different parallels or timelines. So those are actually the same thing. And this right here was when we moved into the new vibration of the new universe. So this beautiful tapestry is the building blocks. And it's illustrated here. It's absolutely gorgeous, right? So let's see what else we can talk about. So I just want to show you this one more time. So you came out, so your oversoul came out of God source, right? And out of your oversoul comes a higher self. And that's who is inhabiting your human body. And your higher self is your soul. So there's many versions of your soul inside of the oversoul. And everything is a fractal of something else. So everything, just like, I don't know if you've looked at fractals, but I would look up fractals. And the reason we love the Paisley pattern is because it illustrates fractals. So you have an oversoul. And out of that oversoul comes a higher self, which is your soul and your inspiration. And the being, your soul is the being that is helping your body's consciousness ascend. So that's very important to know. Your soul is carrying you through this. It is elevating you. It is helping you. So talking to your soul is a very big, good thing. It's a really good thing to be doing. So however you can do that, I would do that. I have one course that helps you do that, but you can also do that with a tree. Just go sit with a tree, lean against it. You can do that by letting go of old stuff. So old constructs in your mind. So the construct of, I have to work hard for money. The construct of, I need to do this or they won't love me. Those kind of things are created. They're created by the more distorted, like, I guess I'll just call it a matrix. But we've been in a very distorted matrix. So the more distorted it is, the more dark it is. Because there's more pain there. Pain is what caused the distortion. So I want to show you also more of the astral plane. So the astral plane is like fourth density is also what was called the astral plane. But the astral plane goes through all the densities and becomes more and more elevated. So there isn't just one version. There's multiple versions of the astral plane as well. So I want to kind of show you how it looks, because everything is made of light. Everything. You are made of light. And because we are now going crystalline, we can hold more light in the body. So that is also helping the consciousness rise, which is really important because that's what we're doing right now. And we've had all these catalysts. We've had politics and negative things happening so that we can say no to those and we can rise. And I see it as being squeezed, honestly. So if you've got the medical system here and you've got politics here, and they are squeezing you to wake up, that's, you know, those were catalysts. And they're falling apart now because we no longer need them. And that's why it took so long. Also, because we weren't ready. And it's like the whole world is about ready to open up. Our whole perception of existence is about ready to open up. So I just want to show you some of those pictures because that really helps. It helps illustrate it. So this is the first picture I'm going to show you that illustrates the astral plane. So as you can see, everything is made of light. And this isn't the best picture as far as clarity, but this really illustrates what it looks like up there. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's little tiny diamonds throughout. So the building blocks are, you know, just little lines. And right now our mind is expanding. And we're learning that this is what we really exist as. We exist within the wonder, the beautiful, amazing wonder of the astral plane. That's our real reality. And what we're doing here is more like a dream or a project. And it's a hard project. It hasn't been easy for us at all. And a lot of us have asked, why am I here? What am I doing here? I don't like it. I want to go home. I know I used to do that. So the astral plane is just this beautiful, like, creation of light. And they've got a lot of different elements in here. But the spiral is how everything is comprised along with the toroidal field. And this helps you get there to have your chakras aligned. But we're about to see through that and see into the astral plane. And as we do that, as we practice seeing through to the astral plane, we're going to get better and better at this ascension process because we're going to know who we are. And as we know who we are, we're going to understand what our gifts are better and better. And a lot of people are getting their gifts right now, but those are going to continue to expand and get more amazing. So I really felt moved to bring this up to you guys. And I would like you to leave comments and so we can continue to expand on it. And let's see, some of the movies that may help you understand this are Lucy. I would actually watch Doctor Strange in the Multiverse, and I would watch Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. That one's really good. Start looking at like The Last Mimsy. These kind of movies are going to help you understand. It's going to help your brain understand what you're looking at as you see beyond the veil. And it's just like all of those movies are inspirations that came down through a soul from God's source. So think about it that way. These things are messages. And not all of this stuff is really great, but right now there's so much great information out there that just do what feels good. If it feels good to you, if you feel like you're getting good information, then go with it and watch it. We've been afraid to watch stuff in the past. I know I haven't watched hardly any television, but now I have Netflix again and I'm watching, and I have Amazon, and sometimes I will order a DVD. So I own Lucy, that movie. And it's tremendous. There's so much packed in there. And there's another one that I really liked was The Man That Fell to Earth. So that's a series, and the newer version, not the old version. Also, The Gift, and I'm talking about the newer Turkish version on Netflix. So these kind of things are helping us expand. It's a tool. And I've been watching some of this lately, but just recently, all of this kind of clicked into place for me. That we are ascending the multiverse right now, and our souls are doing amazing things in the astral plane, and then they're coming back in to our human body, and they're ascending the human consciousness, and it's changing everything. So we're moving from polarity into unity, into kind of butting heads. That's how we used to do stuff and learn. And now we're just going to be being. So you're going to be yourself, and you're going to learn, because everything is transparent. And we're going to learn in a slower, kinder way. So anyway, I hope you guys have an absolutely beautiful day. The future is very, very bright. Okay. Love you all. Bye. I gotta turn this. Okay.